Good morning friends and welcome to the pre-market view. Friends, European markets were down about 2 to 3% as there were no real major big bang announcements which were widely expected after Mr. Draghi Mario's statement that he would do everything possible to support the Eurozone and particularly Euro. Only thing that we got was that they are going to consider some kind of an OMO to support the yields and to stabilize the liquidity. But other than that, there is no change in the policy rates, and given the fact that you have 16 to 17 countries to deal with, it's not going to be easy to really get a consensus on whatever ECB wants to do. So in that backdrop, most of the markets were down. US markets also opened down because of the way things were in Europe, but towards the end there was a good amount of recovery and they were actually down much less at about 0.3 to 0.4%. When we look at the Asian markets today, they are also quoting down about 0.5 to 1.5% as the expectations have tempered down, and even SGX Nifty is suggesting that we are going to have about 25 to 30 points cut when we open up. On the flows front, FIs were net buyers in the cash market to the tune of 140 crore and the domestic institutions were sellers to the tune of 66 crore. On that note, let me invite Shaival to take us through important derivative cues. Hi Shaival, good morning.
Good morning.
A very lackluster session for quite some time now, and yesterday the volumes were extremely low on the F&O at about almost 55,600 crore. Though the flows have been good for quite a while, we are not seeing any major volume or action in the market. So what is your take on that?
See, from past couple of trading session, what we have seen is that Nifty is, specifically Nifty, has been trading into a range of 30 to 40 points after a gap up or a gap down opening, and there's no major activity as you said. Yes, the volumes for the second consecutive day has fallen by more than 15% around. So probably this is the reason, the decline in volume is basically on basis of that this lack of confidence in the market by the participant. There are no major positives coming in from the European or the American market as well, because we were expecting positives, but there's no such kind of positive actions. So that's the reason basically because of which the markets have been trading in with a lackluster session. Yes, on the other hand, FIs were net buyer of around 1100 crores in yesterday's trade, but despite of that, we are not able to see that market is catching up direction on either side.
Right. So what's your sense of the major strikes where there is a major built-up in the open interest?
See, if we have a look at the current matrix, strike of 5,500 stands with highest number of shares in the open interest, which is currently slightly deep out of the money. Whereas if we have a look at the near strikes, 5,300 strike stands with highest number of shares in open interest after 5,500 call option. So as weekly VWAP is placed at 5,300, what we feel is that this would be the hurdle area for the Nifty, for which it would be difficult for market to take off this level. If that is taken off, then the trend would probably change. But as of now, this would be the level which we need to watch on, and we also feel that selling pressure at higher level would continue to emerge and market would slide further downwards.
Right. Any specific ideas that we can share?
We have identified two stocks. What one can do is one can buy put option of 1200 strike price of TCS with stop loss of 8 rupees and target of 30 and 50 rupees. Also one can buy SBI and put option of strike 1950 with stop loss of 35 and target of 80 and 100.
Right, Shaival, thanks a lot for that update.
Thank you.
Friends, we had a very lackluster session yesterday as we discussed, and overall there is not much of movement in these stocks and the overall volumes were also on a lower side. Let's look at some of the important news that have hit the market today. First of all, Sun Pharma is looking for some acquisitions in Europe, and we've seen that the pharma sector as a whole is doing relatively better in the current environment. So we are suggesting a buy on Sun Pharma with a stop loss of 642 and a target of about 674 to 683. Hindustan Lever is likely to launch a premium hair care brand in the market, and again FMCG as a sector and Hindustan Lever in particular has done extremely well over the past few sessions, and we are suggesting a buy call on Hindustan Lever with a stop loss of 459 and a target of 480 to 488. NMDC with one of its subsidiaries is scouting for acquisition of some of the mines in Australia, and we are suggesting a long call on NMDC with a stop loss of 182 and a target of 192 to 196. Also, Sashun Pharma has come out with excellent set of numbers. As we all know that they are into contract manufacturing space, and because of that one could consider going long on Sashun with a stop loss of 122 and a target of 130 to 133. Friends, Arcia, there are some negative developments, and the Railway Ministry is planning to increase the rail freight charges for the container train operators, and this would have some negative implications for Arcia, which has a rail corridor as a major business. So we are suggesting a short call on Arcia with a stop loss of 127 and a target of 118 to 115. That's it from all of us, friends. Have a great session, great weekend, and see you on Monday morning.